A very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we're already over 100 people. This is going to be an amazing TSX Live. A great evening, good evening to everybody. It's 9 p.m. We started an hour later, and of course, because we had to all listen in front of your TV and listen to our Prime Minister here in Malaysia, that has just extended, of course, our MCO time to the 12th of May. But we all still have very happy faces, because we are so lucky that now, right now at 9 p.m., we have one very, very special guest with us tonight. And he's waiting for us already. I already had some time just before this session to talk to him, and he is as excited as I am to get on this Facebook Live here at the Cornerstone Facebook channel. But before we get started, before we bring him on, I made him one very big promise. I asked him, okay, Datuk Joseph, what is it that I can do for you? He says, ask everybody to share it with all their friends, with all their family members, with all their colleagues, because I'm going to really allow everybody to ask any questions they want to me. They can ask anything. Yeah, so bring it on, ladies and gentlemen. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your colleagues, share it with everybody, because we will be talking on one of the most amazing areas here in Malaysia. We will talk about some more stuff, but we will be talking about the most beautiful area here in Kuala Lumpur called Desa ParkCity. The man behind the drive of Desa ParkCity, of the present Desa ParkCity, the future Desa ParkCity. We're going to talk to Datuk Joseph Lau. Yes, he is here with us tonight, going to talk a lot about, of course, Desa ParkCity and the overall company of ParkCity Group. On top of that, we're going to touch a little bit on the MCO, of course. How does that affect ParkCity? How does that affect the development overall? And on top of that, we're going to ask Datuk Joseph Lau, what does IKEA have to do with everything? You know, where does IKEA come into the play? That is an interesting thing, right? So if you want to know more about why that is in this whole game, IKEA, make sure you start sharing with your friends, start sharing with your family, because that is what it's all about. On top of that, of course, we want to make sure that we always deliver enough value to all our followers, to all our audience. You know, I have a lot of questions prepared, really a lot of questions, but I don't mind if I have to skip a few questions to give you the opportunity to ask some questions. So go ahead, go into the comment box, and please feel free to ask your questions later once Datuk Joseph is here with us. Yes, so good evening, Vincent. Good evening, Ali. Good evening, Timothy. Good evening, Zing. PC, hi, how are you doing? Hi, Grace. Hi, Florence. Tanser Lee, Andrew, Scott, Stanley, Kim. Welcome here at Cornerstone Live. And the only thing that I can ask you right now before we bring on Datuk Joseph Lau, please share it with your friends, please share it with your family, and make sure that this is going to be an extraordinary experience for you, for us, and for the rest of Malaysia. Now, is it time to bring him on board? Yes, it's absolutely time to bring him on board. But I think there is a 0.00001% in the audience that has never heard of Desa ParkCity before, because all of the rest of the people obviously have heard of Desa ParkCity before. The beautiful lake, right? The beautiful developments that you have there. You have the waterfront in Desa ParkCity. You have the, what else do you have? Of course, you have the South Brooks, Sophia Residences, Park Regent is coming up, Arcadia. Have you ever visited Arcadia? It's absolutely amazing. But for just a few people that have never heard of Desa ParkCity before, just watch this for a little while.
Breathe in deep. Light welcomes a new day. You are home with nature, while tranquil green spaces give you places to thrive. Home is found in everything, from the people you meet to the bonds you nurture. This is where you can flourish. Here is a neighborhood created with the environment in mind. Welcome to where every day is a brand new experience. This was our canvas. This is Desa ParkCity.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to put away all your distractions. It's time to tell your children, shh, this is going to be very important. It's time to put everything on silent because I'm going to bring him on board right now. I'm going to introduce to you, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the extraordinary, the exceptional Datuk Joseph Lau. Good evening, Datuk.
Good evening. How is everyone?
I hope everyone is doing well. Everybody was really waiting, full excitement for you to come here, so I couldn't keep them waiting. First of all, thank you so much for joining us this evening. So, just to get started, let me just do a little short introduction of you, right? So that everybody knows who is Datuk Joseph Lau. Let's keep it short so we can go straight into the questions, right? So, Datuk Joseph Lau holds a Bachelor of Business degree in Accountancy from Curtin University and is a fellow member of CPA Australia. Following his graduation in 1988, Datuk Lau spent his earlier years in Australia in various commercial accounting roles, from management accountant to regional finance controller, until he returns to Malaysia in 1995. Between 1995 and 2010, Datuk Lau was with Swedish home furniture giant IKEA, Econo Groups in Southeast Asia. He was responsible for setting up and driving force for the growth of IKEA retail business in Malaysia and also Econo shopping center business in Southeast Asia. Datuk Joseph Lau joined ParkCity Group in July 2010 as Group Executive Director. In 2017, he assumed the role of Group Chief Executive Officer of ParkCity Group, a regional property and investment headquarters in Kuala Lumpur. Since Datuk Lau's inception, the company, as Group CEO, he has successfully overseen GDV launches excesses of 2.5 billion, comprising South Brooks, Sophia Residences, and Park Regent in Desa ParkCity, and the Mansions and ParkCity Hanoi, which sales take-up rate from 82% to 100%. The most recent being launched of Park Regent, a high-end condo development with GDV excess of 1 billion in Desa ParkCity. The first joint venture development with CapitaLand Singapore, Park Regent has achieved a sales rate of 86% to date. Well, this is absolutely amazing. Again, a very big welcome, Datuk Joseph Lau. How are you this evening?
I'm great. How are you? And thank you for the introduction.
Yes, of course. I'm happy to do the introduction. So I asked you at the beginning, you know, how should I address you, Datuk Lau, Datuk Joseph, and then you just told me, just call me Joseph, right?
Yeah, call me Joseph, okay? It's
Just
okay.
That's okay. Okay, great. Thank you so much for
Joseph.
that. Joseph, again, we are very grateful that you're here with us today, you know, and with us here tonight. Most people have heard of ParkCity before, of course, very famous for the developers of Desa ParkCity. However, for the people that don't know about the company, could you maybe give a brief introduction about the company?
Yeah, sure. ParkCity is actually part of 𝐵𝐶𝐼ling Group, okay? 𝐶𝐼ling has been in property for a while. So when I came on board and look at it, it says, we have a lot of property development in Sarawak, in Hanoi, and obviously in Klang Valley as well. So why don't we put together this whole business you've got, from shopping center to schools to property development? I mean, that's how it started about. So we have been around in the country, in Malaysia for some time in property as part of 𝐶𝐼ling Group. Obviously, our flagship, as everyone says, is Desa ParkCity. It's a master plan development going back to 2000, okay? Then we also have ParkCity Hanoi. We've been there for about 10 years. Okay, it's a great place. Okay. Then with Miri, obviously, Marina ParkCity. There's something, a reclamation of the sea that we've extended part of city. So yeah, that's how we end up being ParkCity Group. Our portfolio covers both hospitality, retail, and education as well. We have ISP in both Kuala Lumpur and Hanoi, and then we have some hotels in Miri, as well as some retail centers in Bintulu, in Kuala Lumpur, and looking at Hanoi as well. So that's part of how ParkCity Group comes about. It's through the consolidation of all our property interests or something property interests.
Amazing, amazing! Wow, that's quite a huge portfolio. And being the group CEO of ParkCity, could you maybe explain to our audience a little bit what is actually the CEO responsible for as a group CEO of such a big portfolio?
I think if you look back at ParkCity, I mean, ParkCity, everyone in KL knows Desa ParkCity, and ParkCity comes about because really what Desa ParkCity has happened. Now, branding is something that has always been very passionate when I look at it. It's about what we do on bringing ParkCity brand to where it is. Okay, we all, as I said, Desa ParkCity, you all know how is it like. Okay, so I thought, harnessing the ParkCity brand, and so all staff, everyone, be it the staff, be it suppliers, be it our customer, everyone understand what is the brand all about. Okay? And that's what I've been trying to do, growing the ParkCity brand itself. And the brand is all about having its personality, having its feel, having its soul, having everything, having its DNA in everything we do throughout all our development. How we treat co-workers, how we treat employees. So that's a big portfolio of my job, making sure everyone understands ParkCity as a brand. What does it mean? Okay, and what we're going to do, and make sure that everyone live to its brand promise of what we do. Absolutely,
absolutely. We will go a little bit deeper into the whole ParkCity and what is currently going on and what is upcoming, right? But I just want to take a step back into the past, right? We all already heard it during the introduction, right? IKEA, right? And I've read in an article when I did some research before this interview, that you have learned a lot about company culture and brand through your time in IKEA. So could you share with our audience what you have learned from IKEA and how that has influenced things in your career?
When I joined IKEA back in 1995 for the first year, I have a lot of colleagues who are from all over the world in IKEA, and everyone says, IKEA culture, IKEA culture, IKEA culture. I didn't really understand what is it all about. What is IKEA culture all about? I thought what's right may not necessarily be it's right from a business perspective, but as I learned through it, it's not just about what's right. It's about the brand. It's about the IKEA. It's about the culture. It's about what it stands for. It took me a while. For most people would think that IKEA is just selling furniture, but I can tell you, the business idea never talks about selling furniture. It talks about creating a better everyday life for the many. That's what it talks about. And from there, you assess and say, okay, IKEA can sell anything, okay? And if you talk about having a better everyday life for everybody, what do you do in that sense when you talk about a better life for everybody? There's so many things around it. And when you look at it, you say, wow, this company is really different, okay? You never talk about, there's not even a single time you talk about selling a furniture product. It talks about just how does it work. Whatever you do, okay, how it brand talk about is having a better everyday, a better life for everybody. And that's the power of branding. The brand is so powerful everywhere you go. Everyone knows it. IKEA, 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 But it never talks about selling furniture. When you walk into IKEA, it never talks about selling furniture. And that's why I learned the power of the brand, okay? And what's important, branding. A brand lives beyond anyone else. Okay? And that's what I want to see. The brand lives itself, the ParkCity brand. And that's what I like to see. And harness its full potential. That's what I can learn from my IKEA days.
Wonderful, wonderful. That's really great. We'll talk about brand a little bit more later, also on ParkCity brand. How that has helped create such a great reputation for ParkCity as a whole. But let's just go to you in the current situation, right? In the present, we are in quite an unprecedented time. Let's call it the least, right? Currently, we are, I think day 37, 38 of the MCO. Let me ask you first, how have you personally experienced the MCO so far?
Wow, it's something that I've never, and this first time I've been through my life, working life. It's I think what I've realized also, it's not something. It's a new norm altogether. How we work in everything we do, whether it's our social life, whether it's our working life. Everything we do, it's just a complete new norm. But I also realized and appreciate, being able to you miss I mean, you forgot for a while how easy to mix your friends and everything. But then with this MCO, you start missing and realize, you can still communicate with your friends in all kinds of ways through or relatives or colleagues through a lot of modern means, teleconference or WhatsApp or telephone or what. So it's sometimes it's so wonderful to be able to see each other. Okay. I mean, it's just wonderful. Some of the colleagues, when we were having teleconference, said, when do I go back to work? I said, why? I thought you want to go on holiday. I said, no, we all want to go back to work. I'm sure everyone is asking this, when do we go back to work?
Yeah. I think when this MCO is over, we won't have to worry that anybody would take a leave anytime soon, I guess, right?
They will be so eager. Let me tell you, I think one of the most happiest moments when you told everyone you can come to work.
Yeah, it's the other way around, reverse psychology. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for sharing. Before we move forward, we got quite a few more people with us here right now. So I just want to say welcome, everybody. Welcome to the session here together with Datuk Joseph Lau, Group CEO of ParkCity Group. We're talking about many different things with the title Infusing Heart and Soul into Communities. It's actually a part of their brand promise. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But if you're here with us right now, do us a huge favor. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family. Share it with your colleagues. Share it with your dogs and cats. Share it with everybody, as many people as possible. So again, welcome to everybody. Let's look at the property landscape before the MCO, right? Now you have kind of pre-MCO time. So that would mean 2019. How was ParkCity performing in 2019, and what were they getting ready for 2020?
I think if we look back the last few years, the property market in Klang Valley in Malaysia hasn't been easy. It has been challenging.
Yeah.
I think, but I must say in ParkCity, thank you to all the customers who trust what we're doing. I think we've been blessed as well. And we have taken a very conservative approach. But what's important over the years is we said, whatever we do, okay, whatever we put in the market, okay, we must understand who are our customers, okay, and what do they want. We must really understand the specific, not even just all, but the specific target group. What do they want? What are they looking for? So you sort of put yourself into position. If I'm these customers, is that what I want? Okay, is that what I'm after? Okay, is that the lifestyle I wanted? It's not only the launches, but the township itself, okay, whatever we put up, what does the customer look for? So we listen a lot of feedback from customers, existing, new customers and so forth, visitors, I said, what do they look for? So we're very mindful of that. That's why you see Sophia is a different target group, Southbrook is a different target group, Park Region is a certain group. They're all specific target group that we look at. Okay, yeah. So those are for if you look at history, okay, for the until before before the pre-MCO. Now, moving forward 2020, yes, I think the sentiments will be even more challenging. People will be worried about a lot of things. Consumer confidence will be a bit shaken. Okay, it'll be challenging. But I think we are. I think in this climate where people look for things that are different, for the safety, for well-being, for where do I live, it becomes more important. And I believe ParkCity will stand up well in moving forward as well for our future launches. If you look at history, all those launches over there, the last few years, it's been tough. We've been doing well. As you mentioned earlier, we have something like from 80% up to 100% products that we sold. So yeah, right now, I think the next 6 to 12 months, we'll focus a lot on making sure whatever product we have that we've launched to do it properly. The ParkCity DNA must be there. The heart and soul of the community must be there. Whatever we promise the customer, make sure we not only deliver the expectation, but exceed the expectations.
Absolutely. That's how you win the game, exceed the expectations.
It's always not easy defining exceeding someone's expectation. They always do. But we do our best.
Well, it's interesting that you mentioned that, because I think every time you try to exceed expectations, the expectations only get higher and higher, I guess, right?
Yes. Okay. I think that's where your challenge comes. You just have to be better all the time.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Let's look at the company very quickly at ParkCity Group, right? What now that the MCO kind of has started, what has changed internally for the company, and how are you managing this as the group CEO?
I think what's important for us right now, we go back and we say, okay, the importance of, as a company, the importance of the staff, the co-workers, the residents is very important. The safety and well-being is important. So we've taken a lot of steps to make sure that those people are fairly well taken care of in terms of moving forward. The focus will be on that until such time as there are treatment for the virus or vaccine as well. So I think that's a key point for us to focus on. We'll continue to do that as far as the company is concerned moving forward, and that part of it. Then in terms of property launches, okay, yeah, we have to be, obviously we have to look at it, we have to see where the market is. There will be some, as I said, confidence shaken moving forward in terms of confidence, but I think ParkCity being at the right location and being a place where everyone wants to be, on what you can see here and what we've done, I think people feel a lot more comfortable and feel safe about what's in there. So my belief is going forward, yes, we've been through 2 property down cycle, and every time we come up with this down cycle, ParkCity price go even higher. So yeah, I'm still very pessimistic looking forward.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Just to cover quickly the recent events right now, our Prime Minister was just on TV about an hour ago announcing a few things, but the most important one, that there was again an extension till the 12th of May. I gotta ask, do you feel disappointed, or did you see it coming?
I see it coming, actually. I think it's good. It's good to make sure that things are in order before it come back again. I think we cannot rest on us. We could make sure that all things are resolved. Make sure it's really controlled before we take the next step to open up the whole thing. It's something that for me, I've expected it, and I think it'd be more longer beyond that if the numbers keep on looking at where it is. Yeah.
Okay, very good. Going into Desa ParkCity, right? Let's talk about the fun stuff right now. It has shown in the numbers, and also many people that you talk to, especially in the real estate sector, that Desa ParkCity is a very high demand area, right? Over the years, and I think this has to do with, like you said, great vision, branding, and of course all the efforts that are being taken, by exceeding expectations, of course. What do you believe are the key elements that makes a township like Desa ParkCity so successful?
Well, you need a lot of patience, okay? You need a lot of commitment and patience. You need a lot of commitment. It's a very long-term thing to do a nice township. Okay? It takes time, especially when we first started. It takes a lot of time. And what's guiding us is obviously our DNA of the neighborhood, of the community, okay? Of our 5 pillars, basically, of the family, of the connectivity, of the convenience. So that's important, and you have to stick to what the brand stands for. You have to continuously look at that, okay, on those DNA that we look at. And obviously, you have to look at your residents, what they look for, okay? So you have to continue looking at what, being relevant to the residents and to your future customer. That's important.
Okay. Interesting. And also, so you explained patiency, right? That patiency is an important element, right?
Yes.
I'm curious to learn, how does a developer that is running a huge, amount of portfolios, right? Building, very high buildings, how do you deal with patiency? Because I think also when people are queuing up and are asking to, for the area, how do you stay patient and make sure that you stick to the plan, you stick to the brand, you stick to the promise?
Well, it's never easy, obviously. Sometimes you got stakeholders who keep on pushing, want to be faster, but there's only this much time you have. Okay, so you have to go back, as I said, back to the end. I said you need to deliver those things, and something, it just doesn't happen overnight. It takes a longer time. When ParkCity started, for those who know, back in 2000, it was a notorious place, and again, you must believe in what you do when you want to look at it. As I said earlier, doing master plan is not a one cycle. In most, this is already, I think we're in our third cycle of downturn. So it takes time. How do you deal with it? Okay, you just have to plan accordingly. You just have to look at it. Okay, what's needed, because when you have that expectation, when the brand stands for certain thing and there's expectation, you don't have much choice. I mean, sometimes most of the time the shareholder understand, and I'm happy, I'm lucky that we have shareholders who understands the need to build values and do things right over the long term.
Yeah, wonderful. You know, it kind of, when I hear you speak and when I hear you talk, you know, you seem like somebody very passionate in what you're doing right now. And on top of that, you know, that you really want to make sure that everything sticks to a plan. Maybe a funny question, but what part of your position do you enjoy doing the most?
Walking around, talking to the customers, talking to a staff, see what's happening. I think one of the most boring is sitting in the office having too many meetings.
Yeah.
You know, I get a feel of it. Be yourself. Yeah, just be yourself. You know, by yourself. Just think of yourself as a customer, as a resident. You know, enjoy what you've got. Then you understand more what is it all about. Okay, it's not different from retail. You know, people talk about retail as detail. Let me tell you, development and Oasis Township, there are a lot of details to it.
Yeah. And the small details matter the most, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, someone talk about what you know. I used to furnish people homes in IKEA, right? And now I'm furnishing a master plan for the residents, for the community.
Yeah.
In a different way.
Yeah, quite a big step, huh? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Do you, you know, I'm just curious, right? Do you sometimes, as you say, you enjoy walking around the most, right? And talking to customers. Do you sometimes walk around the Desa ParkCity and then say to yourself like, wow, look how far we have come?
Oh yeah, you do. Sometimes you look at what you've got, you know, you do. You know, may not necessarily just walking, it could be driving, could be anything, but yeah, you do. And you look at it and say, wow, this is fast, this has changed. The trees, I just remember when the company first started, even though I wasn't in here, but I knew how was it, you know, and now how far it has grown. I mean, it's just amazing if you look back. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So let's take a few steps into the future, right? I hope I can ask you this. Of course, you being such a prominent figure in the property market, right? With everything that is happening right now, what do you believe will happen to the overall property market moving forward, specifically in Malaysia?
Yeah, I think there will be some softening. Obviously, confidence will really be shaken, and there's no doubt about it. Some will be affected more than others. I think it will take time. Next 6 to 12 months, where some confidence will be shaken for sure. But after that, I think as people get back to the norm, yeah, it'll be back to what people look at, what they used to before. For sure, some others discretionary expenditure will be curtailed. A lot will depend on individual person as well. So there will be investors affected. What's important, I think, whoever want to invest is to look at the location. Location is important. Where the upside is, obviously history will look at itself where the upside is. Property is property over a long-term cycle. If you look at a period of if you plot on a graph over a period of 20 to 30 years, you see property always rise in value because of inflation. So, yeah, it should be okay. Yes, short-term will be some impact. Long-term, you'll be okay.
Will be okay. Okay, that is quite good to hear. Moving forward, I would again turn to our audience. Right, please feel free to ask some questions. You know, he is here with us tonight, but he will not stay here with us forever. So he's going to stay with us for a couple of minutes. So if you have a pressing, burning, interesting question for Datuk Joseph Lau, please feel free to put it in the comment box, and I'll be happy to ask it for you. In the meantime, also keep sharing, liking what we are doing here right now, because of course we want to get as many people on this live stream as possible. I have a question from the audience, Joseph, as I may say. Yes, let's go for it. Here it comes. Datuk Lau, DPC is a brand name itself that people will pay a premium for the houses and condos there. Do you think a new launch next to Safa Terrace will be higher per square feet compared to others in DPC?
It depends on what product, okay? I think it depends on what target group we pitch at. Okay? Park region has about 1,000 as an average price. South Brook right now is probably about 700-800. Okay? So it depends. It's your guess. I don't know. I need to look at it where the market is. But
Yes.
yeah, everyone should be happy when they know what we're doing. It's a completely different product. It's a very exciting product. The design looks awesome as well. We're still going through the fine tune before we can tell you whether it be higher or lower.
Yeah.
It depends on the product, really. I mean, so I can't tell you right now.
Okay, no, that's very good. That's very good. Maybe interesting to figure out right now. A lot of people have been kind of locked into their homes for the past few weeks, right? They have spent the most time in their home as ever. Do you believe that people will look at their property differently after coming out of the MCO later? That they will have a different view about a home, about the value of their own home? Do you think people will differently look at it?
Well, people would definitely start appreciating the home more and trying to make it more comfortable. I would expect the next 12 to 18 months, there'll be less people going out. There'll be more social distancing. There'll be more spending more time at home. So I would think so. I would think so. People will look at a more comfortable home. But there are little things that you can do in home to make it more comfortable. And it's not only the home. As you come out from this MCO, it's a surrounding, it's the environment, okay? Because you don't want to go to too far places where it's crowded. Let's always avoid crowded places as much as possible. So yeah, home becomes an important part of your life.
Absolutely. Looking, of course, with Desa ParkCity, having convenience, community, security. You think people will also start appreciating that more, or was that already a big thing for people? Do you think?
What's interesting is we got to remember this COVID thing happened, I think, in January. Okay.
Yes.
At the same time, we complete waterfront refurbishment sometime towards November, December. Okay. So when all these major issues on COVID happened in February and March, before the lockdown, before the MCO, everyone was saying that their shopping center very quiet after Chinese New Year. Okay. The reality is in waterfront itself, we were having a huge surge of customers, okay, of visitors to the waterfront itself. Obviously, predominantly it's new, and the other part, people starting to realize that no, this is actually a very good place because look, natural air. Okay, it's a good place to bring your family. It's open, It's not the typical aircon environment. If you recall, during that time, a lot of people worry about aircon environment, and whatever was just a complete different setup altogether, different retail experience altogether, and people, there was a huge influx of visitors, which really was surprising to us. Okay, at that point of time. So only then, when the lockdown happened, on MCO happened, then obviously there's not much choice. You have to start controlling it. You have to bring it down. You have to stop visitors other than coming to it. So yeah.
Yeah. That's definitely interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So there's a lot of appreciation on the park, on waterfront, even Arcadia itself. The different experience walking around. So yeah, I think people are just realize, oh, this is a very different place as a place not only to stay, but also to do your usual thing and leisure outing on a weekend.
Oh, nice. Very beautiful. Okay, very interesting to see that happening, and especially during these kinds of events. We have another question from our audience. Let's see, let me click it here. It's from 𝐆𝐫𝐨𝐮𝐩 𝐂𝐡𝐢𝐞𝐟 Hi, Datuk Joseph. How was the Desa ParkCity concept initially conceived? What was the main driving force behind it?
The owners back that time in fact, if you go back further, okay, the owners of the company is from Samling Group. They've always wanted to develop some community experience that's completely different from what Malaysia has to offer and Kuala Lumpur has to offer. My chairman himself did real estate in US, and he's done a lot of master plan in US. So that sort of inspired him and said, look, okay, I think in Malaysia, you could offer something very much what the Americans do in terms of get a guarded community. Okay, I think that's where the inspiration comes from. Yeah, it's a try and errors. Like, when we do landed strata title, no one believe in it. People wonder what is that. Malaysia doesn't have a landed strata title law back then in 2000. There's a lot of up and downs along the place. Okay, security, was it something we thought out of right away? Not really. We must admit, because we also wanted, at that point in time, we just wanted to make it as a place where people enjoy and with all the greenery and so forth. But because then, being from East Malaysia, we said, wow, Sarawak especially, oh, wow, we didn't know that Kepong was notorious for the place back then. That's how we learned through it. And then there's a need to make it more secure. There's a lot of learning from what we do, being our first development in Klang Valley, going back to 2000. Yeah. So that's how it was more of what the fan group has done in some time ago in US. A lot of master planners, a lot of inspiration, a lot of drivers was taken from that experience. But again, it's very different in America. When you're a master plan developer, you just sell land. Here you have to do everything. You not only master plan, you have to build, you have to sell, you have to do everything A to Z. Okay, so that's the difference. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. So really, A to Z, everything falls under you to basically create that full master plan altogether, I guess. Huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So another maybe interesting question. I'm not sure, but let's just ask it. Datuk Lau, any plan to expand ParkCity Township outside of Kepong?
Yes, I've always made comments about wanting to look for another ParkCity in Klang Valley. Hopefully, it can come to fruition the next 12 months or so. It's a dream, but I think it is coming together slowly, surely. But yes, there will be plans for more ParkCity in Klang Valley. It won't be a lot, but there will be maybe 1 or 2 master plan. But I have to look at areas. We have to look at areas. We have to look at target group. We have to look at customers, what they want, and so forth. So the answer today is yes. And you will hear more.
Hearing more soon, I guess, huh?
Yep.
Okay, very good. Let's keep it to that. Let's keep them curious for now. Then I have another question also that I was meaning to ask you. Talking about buyers, I know that Desa ParkCity always has a good a stream of buyers right now. Many people were considering already going into Desa ParkCity pre-MCO. Now, of course, everything is a little bit uncertain. Just imagine being a potential buyer today. Do you think it's still a good time to buy?
I mean, there are a lot of factors other than prices. Okay, there's the bank lending rate, interest rate. There is RPGT that people look at. It depends on requirement. Okay, what do you need for a family? The tenure of the loan. I think what has been affecting the market as a whole has always been the government is very, Bank Negara especially has been very stringent, affecting banks on borrowings. You all know rejection of loans has been very high. So given the current market where you can see interest rates are going down, I'm sure Bank Negara will look at easing more in terms of even lending. They need to spur the economy. I hope they can bring back things like stamp duty exemption, even the deferred interest scheme that was before, builder scheme that was done before, hopefully a longer tenure. So there's a lot of things, even remove RPG, a lot of things the government can do to help to bring this property market back. And is it the right time? It's never the right time. It depends on what you want. ParkCity, as I said, last 2 cycles, okay, it has never seen any dip. In fact, it went higher. Yeah. Okay, so it's back to what exactly you want. And my belief, ParkCity being a place where it is what we do, what we deliver, the residents, the community, everyone else. No, I don't think, I think it will be very firm prices-wise moving forward as well. And as I said, it's location. Good location will always hold. Bad location, whatever you do, will always be bad. Whatever you do will always be bad. If
that's a strong statement. You really believe that? Whatever, location bad, everything goes bad.
No, it's tough. Let's, for example, if someone has only sold 20-30%, what do you do in this climate?
Yeah.
Even you drop another 30%, what do you do?
Yeah.
You would be more worried as a buyer. Should I go in there? I was hearing some chat the other day when someone says, I bought a property 10 years ago at such price, and even now I'm still servicing, And guess what? Okay, I couldn't even recoup to where it was before with the price until now. So that's bad location.
Painful.
Yeah, it's painful.
Yeah.
So it's important not only the location, the reputability of the developer, how they do it, and those things are very, very important. Okay.
Yeah.
And over the years, there's too many fly-by-night around. So yeah, I think it's important for buyers. Yeah, and it depends what you want. Okay. Government will be offering a lot of things, but whatever you buy, especially on the plan, you'll be ready 3 years now, 4 years before it's ready.
Yeah.
And look, I would imagine that yes, the next 6 to 12 months will be a lot of confidence shaking. But with all these measures that everyone is doing, it could be a very quick V-shape in terms of how the economy may turn.
Yeah, yeah. That does bring me to another question, is that because of what you just said, is you say kind of fly by night, right? Do you think that I'm not talking about others, but just overall the real estate market, right? Do you think it lacks of long-term vision of many areas of where it is going, and that people don't understand it, and that's why people simply don't invest sooner? Yeah.
I think when you hear, it's like the stock market when a taxi driver start buying shares of what, you say, hey, what's happening? Okay.
Yeah.
And when you start everyone trying to be a property developer, it's not so easy. It's not so straightforward. There are a lot of things, okay, that you need to take care of the customers. And that requires patience. That requires time. That requires delivering what it is. But that's why you hear a lot of issues here and there. Yeah.
Wonderful. Let's go to another question from our audience very quickly before we run out of time. What made Sampling Group decide to venture into property, and for first flagship to actually undertake a whole township instead of ad hoc development? It's a very brave and bold move.
I think we do some ad hoc development before. One Ampang in Ampang was our first development going back to the 80s, I think. And we stopped for a while, I must admit, okay? But then from the experience in US, we knew that township is always more interesting. You're able to create a soul and heart for the community, okay? So that's why the owners said, look, I think we need to do township. Our forte is township, let's do township. Why Klang Valley? Look, in Malaysia, where else besides Klang Valley? I mean, there are not many places, Yeah. I mean, so naturally, Klang Valley is always back to demand and supply, population, and so forth. And Klang Valley has it.
Yeah, absolutely agree with that. Now that that question came up with Sampling Group, I actually read an article. I think it was about a week or 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure, about Sampling Group collaborating with ParkCity in actually donating 500,000 masks to the Home Ministry. What of course is an amazing initiative, right? But what I would like to know is, why do you feel it was time to step up and make a huge effort to support the government in fighting this outbreak?
I think as a group, Sampling has been around for close to, I think, 1963, so about 57 years. This is not the only initiative. What we have done in throughout Sarawak, especially being a Sarawak-based company originally, we have air freighted about equivalent to 4 40-foot containers of all kind of things, from ventilators to PCR machines to masks to goggles to gowns to everyone, to support the Ministry of Health, the government, in fighting this COVID. So this 500,000 was part and parcel of our mask, was part and parcel of our support to the Malaysian government. In Sarawak, we've done a lot. We have also recently supported the Edge to bring machines, all the PPE required for the frontliner as well. So yeah, we've been supporting the government, especially in all our CSR efforts in supporting in doing this COVID. And bear in mind, Sampling Group itself has always been doing a lot of CSR also in the country, in Sarawak in particular. That's where our home base is, and also in Klang Valley.
Wow, wonderful. Wonderful. That's really great. Any big motivation behind that for yourself? Is there anything personal that you say, we have to step up, we have to do this? Is that something that you feel that is a responsibility also for the developer?
Well, as a corporate citizen, for us, I think it's very important when in times of need, we have to help what we can. Okay, and every time it happens, sometimes we always do it. Okay, I think as corporate citizen, it's our responsibility as well to support when it comes to CSR in schools, for example. We do help as well a lot. You know, I think recently DBK asked for help to support those food or what to some of those lockdown places. We also help. You know, so when we help, when we think it's right to help, we just help, especially the CSR thing. Yeah, and in the current climate, everyone needs help, so we help what we can. And you know, to all our employees, the same. Okay, we help what we can. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Keep doing that. It's of course it's absolutely a great initiative, and hugely thankful. Great way of how to help all of Malaysia and everybody. I want to just step aside from Desa ParkCity for a while, because sometimes people forget, but ParkCity also holds developments in Miri in Sarawak. I think is called Marina ParkCity, and in Hanoi, Vietnam, you have ParkCity Hanoi. How is the current situation there?
Let's talk about Sarawak as a whole. In Miri, Miri is a very small place. It's only about less than 400,000 population. It's smaller than Klang Valley. It has been challenging in Miri for a while, but since we came from Miri, and it's important we support our birthplace is. It is a tough market. The oil price has been affecting a lot. Not only oil price, crude oil price, but also the palm oil industry is also affecting. So it's actually a tough market in it. But nevertheless, we're still doing well there, moving ahead. Okay, it's just a lot slower market. As I said, it's only like population of PJ. How much you expect? Not much. Okay, for me. Yeah. In Hanoi, it's actually surprising. Hanoi, I think even after the MCO, post MCO, it'll be fantastic, because look, Hanoi has just opened up relaxed all the rules except no pubs or entertainment today. And Hanoi in particular will move that very quickly. I think the Vietnamese government has done a fantastic job in controlling what they've got. They have only 200 over cases, I think 0 deaths. They still enforce a lot of very strong social distancing rules. And today, they open up the whole thing. And yeah, Hanoi has been a great market for us. We've been there for a while. We hope to look at more also, not just Hanoi, but in the Vietnam market. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, Vietnam, I heard that there's great opportunity there, especially on a development area, that many things are happening there right now. So that definitely brings some perspective. We are already, Joseph, as I may say, we're almost getting to 50 minutes already, and I don't want to keep you here the whole evening, right? So we will slowly come to an end. We have a few questions left, but if our audience is still with us this evening, so they somehow enjoy what you're all sharing. So great value already. So much thanks for that. Let me go a little bit easier question, right? Over the past weeks, we've been mostly at home, right? And I assume yourself also being at home. What means, we have come into new routines, new things that we need to do, new way of working, many new things for everybody. What 2 things have you learned over the past weeks that you didn't know, you didn't realize, or you have never learned before?
I didn't know that we cannot touch your face. That's hard, I tell you. I mean,
cannot
try to sit down there. It's hard not to touch your face, okay?
Yeah.
I just don't know. I'm still struggling. And having to wash your hands. I got my wife who keep on asking me, have you washed your hand? Have you washed your hand? So, I don't know how often I have to wash my hand. Or have you used sanitizer? Have you used a sanitizer? So yeah, those are 2 things. Sometimes you just laugh. Okay. I think you probably put more alcohol on your hands than drinking for a long time.
Yeah, for sure. That's a fact for sure. Yeah. Okay, great. Well, interesting things to learn. More hand washing, not touching the face, and the alcohol thing. Yeah, that of course is obvious. Many people have invested in ParkCity over the years. Many happy customers, great developments. Maybe some people just invested in ParkCity. I just want to have your take on the people that have bought properties so far. What would you advise to homeowners, property owners in ParkCity, in Desa ParkCity? What should they do in the next 6 to 12 months?
Whatever you do, okay, stay prudent. Make sure you work, do within your means. All right. Always look for reputable developers who can deliver the product. Okay, and make sure they have track records. Look at location. It's very important. Okay, and when the first part to climb up in good time is good location. So yeah, be careful. Just stay prudent and be careful. Don't just, the government has started giving easier loans or whatever it is up here, and you feel like you want to go and try everything else. Just stay prudent. Okay? Look at locations and look at who you're buying from.
Okay, that's really great. That's great sharing. So that is great who you're buying from. What specifically for homeowners now, right? So somebody that owns a property in Desa ParkCity, what should they be doing? Should they just stay calm and just wait it over time? Everything will go back to normal. What would you advise these people? Well,
you will not regret. Stay calm in ParkCity will be a great place for you to stay. Okay. So we will continue to take care, to make sure things are in order, it's safe, well-being is taken care, public areas will be sanitized frequently. We'll be doing that what's right. So stay calm. ParkCity will be fine. Will be good. You'll be happy to be here.
Very good. Very good. I think there was a question just now, but I couldn't find it back. I think somebody was asking, about the traffic, of course, coming in and out of people. There's a lot of outside traffic. We discussed on that earlier, coming in MCO. Any plans for after MCO to manage that, to handle that for outside traffic coming inside that is not living in Desa ParkCity?
It'll be challenging. I think we can study as much as you can, but you'll be changing. How do you stop the public from coming in? Yes, you can control up to at a certain time after hours, but beyond that, you'll be more challenging. But we have always, what's important is this: we have always have auxiliary police moving around, checking to make sure things are in order. I don't know when most people will upgrade from having security guards to auxiliary police. We have now close to 30 people auxiliary police in ParkCity, most on a workforce right now, just taking care of ParkCity and all the related things. So yeah, our auxiliary police are on time. We work very closely with the Kepong police. They're here very, very frequently to make sure what's happening. Okay. So yeah, I think that's what we're doing in terms of safety, security. If you realize it, MCO, we are the first one to have an enhanced MCO. We locked down our DP 1 and 2. Only those who are coming in to get food in a supermarket or clinics are allowed to get in, and only one person. Otherwise, no one is allowed to get in. No visitors can come in during the period as well. Yeah.
Talking about very quickly on retail, of course, you have the waterfront, you have Arcadia. Just as out of curiosity, were you ever planning on doing something even bigger than those two within Desa ParkCity?
No. Okay. We got to bear in mind what Desa Parks, the waterfront and Arcadia are both for when it was built. Okay. Waterfront was meant to be a community place. Okay. You see most development everywhere in the world, be in Australia, in Western world, be in America. They always have their own community center. Okay? Yeah. Desa ParkCity is not a location for a big shopping center like one with Tamil Mid Valley. No, it's not. Okay. So it's a community center. Waterfronts, Plaza Arcadia serve a different purpose altogether as well. You will realize that it's very much an enrichment center on the first floor. There's a lot of people on a lot of dance school, music schools, you name it. A lot of them are over there. Okay, which actually it's not only serving for ParkCity. Actually, it's serving people throughout Klang Valley. You hear people from even Bangsar coming there quite often because the roads from Duke 2 behind going to Bangsar is so nearby right now, and the traffic is very less. Also, it's very easily accessible. So yeah, I mean, Plaza Arcade has a different purpose. So no, I don't see anything bigger in terms of commercial. No, these are the two that serve its purpose.
Okay, wonderful. Okay, well, thank you so much for answering that. And that really is starting to bring us to a close end. We have been so blessed and so honored to be spending 55 minutes with Datuk Joseph Lau, answering all these questions with full heart and soul, as the title says, into communities. I just want to talk about the title very quickly because I actually, something happened. quickly. I think he was quickly lost for connection at the end. What of course can happen, right? Luckily, we were able to spend with him 56 minutes, but suddenly he was gone. So I don't know if he is coming back, if his phone went off or his connection went off, but suddenly he is not with us anymore. And that brings us at a very abrupt end of this session. I really wanted to thank him personally. I had one final last question for him. I really wanted to also allow you guys to ask a final question. So I'm so sorry that he suddenly is gone. I cannot see if he is coming back. Can either be battery, can also be the connection, of course. These things happen, you know, during, if everything has to go online, sometimes the technology just doesn't want to support us for a little while. So he is not with us yet. Let me just check if he's coming back. And if he's not coming back, that should be okay. Let me just, give me just 1 second. Let me just one more time, please, ladies and gentlemen, just have a quick look again, because we've been talking about this the whole evening. We've been talking about the beautiful area of Desa ParkCity. ParkCity Group doing so many great things, of course, for in Hanoi, Sarawak. You have heard Datuk Joseph Lau talk about it, but you know, the main thing is, of course, Desa ParkCity. Have a look.
Breathe in deep. Light welcomes a new day. You are home with nature, while tranquil green spaces give you places to thrive. Home is found in everything, from the people you meet to the bonds you nurture. This is where you can flourish. Here is a neighborhood created with the environment in mind. Welcome to where every day is a brand new experience. This was our canvas. This is Desa ParkCity.
Okay, I just heard that he is trying to come back in. Hopefully we can say a final goodbye to him as he is trying to come back in now. So you have heard it all from Datuk Joseph Lau this evening, you know, the amazing area of Desa ParkCity, but also how ParkCity Group is dealing with the MCO and what they're planning for after the MCO. Great initiatives also coming from them through many donations. They're trying to also do their part within the communities. And I'm very sorry that if I've skipped your question, you know, some questions I did read and then I felt like, okay, maybe not the right question to ask to Datuk. I think you can easily ask that question to one of their people at the service center. But great questions from all of you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us, of course. And I really hope that he is trying to come in back now. I'm reading here on a text. So let's hope that he's coming back in and we can spend 1 or 2 minutes still with him as we're slowly coming to an end. I would also would really like to thank Cornerstone for this great opportunity. Thanks to them, we were able to get Datuk Joseph Lau with us here in this evening. And on top of that, I would also give a special thanks to Kim and Karen at from ParkCity Group, who we've been working with very closely over the past few days. So thank you, Kim. Thank you, Karen, for making this happen, to set up everything for us and make sure that we got all the information and all the details and things like that. It's very important for an interview like this. There's more preparation than you think. It's not just, you know, on the camera and then just start talking. So everybody at the team at Cornerstone, thank you. Everybody at the team at ParkCity Group, thank you so much. And I hope really still that he's coming back in. I don't see him yet. So yeah, then I have to just do what I'm doing always best, is just keep talking, I guess, right? Yeah, but at a certain point, you know, I'm also out of information. So again, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we hope really that you have joined this evening. Do me a final favor, you know, if you have just come in the last 5 minutes, the last 10 minutes, give it a final share, right? This video will be on the internet forever, will be on our Facebook channel here at Cornerstone. If you have not liked the Facebook yet, Facebook pages of Cornerstone, please do so, because we will have more interviews in the future. We will have many more special guests coming. So if you want to stay connected with us, like our Facebook page, share it with everybody, and make sure that you see the events that are upcoming. Sometimes they're with me, sometimes they're with my partner. Let me see. Yeah, okay, well, it seems like we're not able to get him back in anymore. He's trying to, but unfortunately it's not happening. Well, that just brings us to an unfortunate, a little bit of a sad ending. But the first 55 minutes were absolutely amazing. So I really hope you enjoyed it. If you have enjoyed it, leave us a little thank you, and leave us a little see you soon again, Taco. See you soon again, Datuk Joseph Lau, and we hope we can move forward again from there. Let me just give it a final try, and if not, then we will just call it a night. Just give me 1 second.
Breathe in deep. Light welcomes a new day. You are home with nature, while tranquil green spaces give you places to thrive. Home is found in everything, from the people you meet to the bonds you nurture. This is where you can flourish. Here is a neighborhood created with the environment in mind. Welcome to where every day is a brand new experience. This was our canvas. This is Desa ParkCity.
There he is back again. Wow, we are so lucky.
I'm sorry about that. Yeah.
No, that is absolutely no problem. That gave us a little chance to show the ParkCity movie again, the ParkCity video again. So that's actually a very good one.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Okay. That's absolutely no problem. No problem. These things happen during MCO time. Technology doesn't always want to support us, but we always try to fix it again, right?
Yeah.
But we don't want to keep you much longer. Let's just end it with two final questions, right? I just quickly want to touch on the current development that is going on, Park Regent, right? That is currently happening in Desa ParkCity, and I want to know, what is the next one? Do you already know what is going to be the next project within Desa ParkCity?
Yes, there's one coming up next to Safa. We haven't got a name yet. Everyone call it R2, but look forward to that. Okay, it'll be something very exciting. We're still fine-tuning the design, okay, to make sure that it's like hopefully it'll be wow effect. So yeah, it's still work in progress.
Okay, very good. And Park Regent, we already mentioned it. It's close to sold out. Any last updates from that side?
It's progressing well. Obviously, the MCO has a slight impact in terms of development progress, but now it's progressing very well. And obviously, what we're looking now is how do you look at things that we can be better in terms of what we promised earlier. So it's all about delivering a better products, exceeding customer expectations. So, if you talk about exceeding expectation, you start early. It's not towards the end. Along the process, you look at it already. And you look at it every time from a customer perspective. All our staff do regular site visits. Say, hey, is this what the customer, is this good enough for them? What we're looking at. Can it be better?
Wonderful. Always aligning with the expectations and exceeding the expectations as you always try to deliver that, right?
Yeah.
we've come to an end, not without saying that we again hugely appreciate, and it was a really, really great honor for me personally also to be allowed to interview you, Datuk Joseph Lau. It was really great to have you with us. Thank you so much for coming back a second time, right? So that we can properly close. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, and to all the viewers, stay safe, stay at home. Okay, it'll be over soon. It'll be even better. So take care, and Taco, great to talk to you as well.
Yeah, thank you so much. And what I usually do, as in closing, I always have a standard last closing question. So I would also want to keep that routine also with this, and then we close the session. Thanks to our audience also for being here. Thank you for your support. Keep sharing this to your friends, families, and everybody around. So because you could hear there was a lot of great value that Datuk Joseph Lau was giving us. A final question before we close. Imagine this, Datuk Joseph, that I would sponsor you a billboard on one of the busiest highways in Malaysia, and you were allowed to write one message on that billboard for all Malaysians. What would you put on the billboard?
Thank you to all the frontliners. Stay strong as one Malaysia. Stay home, stay safe. You'll be over soon.
We'll be over soon. Great words. Great words. Thank you so much. That was a great closing. Thank you so much, everybody, for being with us here tonight. We spent some great time here with Datuk Joseph Lau, Group CEO of _ParkCity Group. It was an amazing honor to have him with us here tonight. We will do more sessions in the future, but let's keep this one as our number one for this evening. Thank you so much for being with us tonight. Have a great evening, and we will see each other soon again. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Good night.